And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered in multiple ways. Alrighty, today is a big old Wednesday. We are continuing on with our draft grades, breaking it down by division, by team. We've done the AFC East, the AFC North, and today we are going to be doing the AFC South. So Titans, Colts, Jacksonville Jaguars, Houston Texans. Will any of these teams get that coveted A+? We already gave out an A+ to the Jets, and I think we just gave out an A+ to the Steelers. Let me double check on that. Was it A or A+? I know the Jets are definitely A+, and the Steelers, we gave them A. So already 2 A's. We'll see. Once we're done with all of the teams, we can kind of compare and officially crown a winner of the draft. But so far, Jets with A+, best draft that we've seen so far. So we'll see if the Titans, Colts, Houston Texans, and Jacksonville Jaguars can potentially score that other A+. We'll be breaking down the NBA today. As always, doing our moneymaker for tonight's action and talking about the stories of the day. So let's jump right into it here. Alrighty, some unfortunate news here to start off. Broncos offensive tackle Juwan James suffered a season-ending torn Achilles working out today away from the team's facility. So not great there. James's $10 million salary is now in jeopardy, because Denver no longer is obligated to pay him with him working out off-site. So truly unfortunate here. We've been hearing, teams opting out of the kind of voluntary in-person workouts, and this is a potential risk. I mean, working out, getting injured on not the kind of team's, the company's property. Now that's contracts void now. That's unfortunate. You got injured on your own time. Unfortunate. So now we don't really have to pay you. So we'll see what happens here if the Broncos do end up paying him. I mean, they can still pay him. I mean, it's going to be totally up to the Denver Broncos. So if they want to kind of keep him, if they think that he's worth keeping, maybe next season once he gets over this injury, they would probably pay him just to kind of be the good guys out here. But truly unfortunate here. There's always risk in every single decision, and we talk about it, everybody talks about, sports and, players getting injured, but these are the real ramifications. We're talking about $10 million that this man could be losing out on just because, unfortunately, he got injured off of, team property. So got to keep everything in mind here. Truly unfortunate here for the Broncos. I mean, losing a player, any time during the offseason is never good, whether it's with the team, away from the team. It's just truly unfortunate. This Broncos team, a little bit of a bright light coming into the season, having Drew Lock, having Teddy Bridgewater, gonna have a great quarterback competition, already have really the infrastructure, just need that kind of quarterback to just be decent to start winning a lot more games than what they did last season. So gonna hurt their offensive line a little bit. Melvin Gordon, running the ball now is gonna have to do a little bit more because his offensive line isn't gonna be 100% healthy. If only the Denver Broncos had 2 good running backs to work with. Darn it, Phillip Lindsay gone now. So unfortunate here for Juwan James. Definitely wish him a speedy recovery, but he's going to be out for the rest of the season, folks. Unfortunate. Alrighty, and now new players going to new teams. Casey Hayward signing with the Raiders, was a Charger, good solid cornerback, now going to shore up that Raiders team, and this Raiders team desperately needs a winning season because we're going into year 3 with John Gruden, year 4 with John Gruden there with the Raiders. Let me see, is it 3 or 4? I think it might be 4. Let's get this up. Here we go. John Gruden going into his 4th year with the Raiders, and he went What do we got? 4-12 his first season, 7-9 his second season, 8-8 his third season. So no real winning seasons. I guess he is getting better every single season. First year 4 wins, second year 7 wins, third year 8 wins. So they're shoring up their defense a little bit more. We need John Gruden to really start proving that he can coach in this league, folks. He's on this 10-year, $100 million deal here with the Raiders and has brought them kind of mediocre seasons so far. So now this is the next step that the Raiders have to take. They're trying to shore up their defense, bringing in a solid cornerback here. And like we said, we've been talking about, coaching narratives coming into the season. Yeah, we could talk about the players. Tom Brady trying to repeat. Patrick Mahomes trying to, get back to greatness. Lamar Jackson trying to kind of experience what what Patrick Mahomes has been experiencing for these last, 4 years. But we've also got these head coaches, folks. We've got Matt Rule trading in Teddy Bridgewater for Sam Darnold. We got Robert Saleh, first-time head coach. We got Dan Campbell, first-time head coach. We've got John Gruden, 4 years in now, has to make something happen. So watch out for these coaches this year. Mike McCarthy, how is he going to be able to kind of turn around the Cowboys season this year? So, yeah, we could talk about the players all day, but these coaches, folks, they're a huge part of success in this league. Just look at Billy B, folks. Got to have at least a good, competent head coach to go back to back. Look at Bruce Arians, folks. I don't know if you plug any other coach besides the great ones, Bill Belichick, maybe Andy Reid. If you plug in any other coach there to that Bucs team, I'm not 100% certain that Tom Brady wins the ring year 1, folks. Truly. So gotta watch out for these coaches this year as well as the players, and we're gonna be keeping an eye on these Raiders this year with John Gruden. Alrighty, and then another coach, another team to pay very close attention to coming up to this season, the Bears. They just got Demi Bird from the Patriots. They're signing him to a 1-year deal, wide receiver, but nothing big from Demi Bird here. I mean, he's like 5'9", folks. He's just truly nothing great. I think his best season was like 600 yards last year with the Patriots and Cam Newton, just because they have no good wide receivers. So the Bears, yes, they got, Justin Fields, their good franchise quarterback that they are going to believe in, but what's their wide receivers looking like? Yeah, we know they got Allen Robinson, and we love what Allen Robinson did. I mean, if he made Mitch Trubisky look good, I mean, Justin Fields going to be looking like Tom Brady out here, honestly, with this Bears team. But besides Allen Robinson, they've really got nothing. They got Darnell Mooney, Anthony Miller. I mean, folks, these wide receivers are like 5'9", 5'10". Allen Robinson is their only good, tall wide receiver. He's like 6'2". Then they get Demi Bird, like we just said, bringing in another wide receiver. But is he even going to help because he's like 5'9" and he's not established in this league. He doesn't know what winning is or, being consistent or anything like that. So this Bears team, yes, they've got their kind of, franchise quarterback, but he's going to be struggling with these weapons, folks. No real great weapons. So they're going to see if they can kind of maybe translate Demi Bird to a good wide receiver, but it's definitely going to be, a lot of pressure on Matt Nagy to kind of make all these kind of role players play well together, because we know that this man definitely needs success this season. Alrighty, now let's move on to this one. And Jimmy G being a good guy out here, I kind of like it. Jimmy Garoppolo said he's ready to help the 49ers rookie quarterback Trey Lance. Alrighty, so let's dive into this article, see if there's any good quotes here by Jimmy G. We know, he's getting a little disrespected, just a little bit. And we know, the NFL's a business and they don't owe anybody anything. I get all that, folks. But, just unfortunate Jimmy Garoppolo can't stay healthy, and they're kind of, tossing him to the curb. I mean, the words that, Kyle Shanahan has kind of used in the media of calling, coming into this draft, saying that they want to get their starting quarterback, that's a subtle dig right there, but you have to look into those words. So, Jimmy Garoppolo can, have a sour taste in his mouth 100%, and I don't think anybody would really blame him. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has a bad taste in his mouth, and everybody's praising him and, encouraging him to keep going further and further and further with his actions. Don't play, call out the organization, do this, host Jeopardy, retire if you need to, all that. Where Jimmy Garoppolo, I mean, he's kind of, praising, the quarterback, praising his backup, motivating him. So let's see what he's talking about here in these quotes. Alrighty, so appearing on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin show on ESPN Radio, Garoppolo spoke publicly for the first time since the 49ers traded up to number 3 in the NFL draft and used that selection on Trey Lance. So here we go, quote, "It's kind of coming full circle," Garoppolo said. "You go through this NFL career, you start as a young guy coming in. Tom Brady kind of showed me the ropes. The competition between us was awesome. It really made me grow as a rookie and as a young player. So that's kind of what me and Trey will mold our relationship into, but it will happen naturally. It's one of those things you can't force anything. Just let it come as it may." And yeah, I mean, he's got experience with this. Jimmy Garoppolo, playing behind Tom Brady, kind of, smallly being promised, hey, you're the future. After he's gone, Jimmy G, you're the guy. So compete, learn from this man, try to get that starting position as fast as you think that you can, because once you're ready to go, Tom's aging out and we're ready to move off of him. So, Jimmy G has this kind of side. He's like, all right, I've been kind of the number 2 quarterback on a team. I know how that feels. I know how I felt during that. And I saw kind of how others treated me, and I'm bringing that same energy here to the 49ers because it helped me out in my career. And Jimmy Garoppolo, what I love about him so far is that, he's like, just kind of what, he's putting out there publicly in the media is just, I kind of, this kind of, happened, just kind of by a freak nature. It's not like I wasn't playing well or anything like that. It's just I couldn't stay healthy, just some freak accidents on the field. So it seems like Jimmy Garoppolo isn't really taking any of this kind of criticism or the replacement at the quarterback position really too close to heart, which is obviously a good thing to see. But let's see if we get any more quotes here. Alrighty, those memories still linger for Garoppolo, who texted Trey Lance soon after the Niners drafted him, and we get a quote here. "I try to use my own personal experience in just what I went through, what helped me, what challenged me as a young player. I'm going to use those tools that helped me and try to help Trey out as well. It's hard to come into this league. I know how it is coming from an FCS school to the NFL. It's a bit of an adjustment, the speed, whatever you want to call it. It's just different. So whatever I can do to help him, I'll be more than happy." So once again, good guy Garoppolo out here, knowing that he's potentially helping his future replacement. But he's like, hey, I've been here before. I've been all this, and I'm going to be the best quarterback possible still, while showing this guy the ropes and showing him how to win and being successful, how to be successful in this league. So absolutely fantastic here for Jimmy Garoppolo here. And if we just kind of bring it back to Aaron Rodgers, I mean, Aaron Rodgers had the same experience, was brought in under Brett Favre, had to sit for like 3 or 4 seasons while Brett Favre was ending his career. Then he finally got the nod, but Brett Favre never really kind of coached or really even liked Aaron Rodgers. Brett Favre was like, "This is my replacement. Yeah, I'm not talking to this kid. Why would I kind of coach up my own replacement? What sense does that make?" So, Aaron Rodgers saw the bad side, and then when they brought in Jordan Love, he said he was going to be the good side and be like, "Oh, I'm going to coach up the backup, the rookie, all of this." But I don't really think that really happened that much, and now we get Aaron Rodgers going crazy on the organization, saying that they're all trash and that he's not going to play anymore. All right, but there's one more thing in this article that we got to get down to. So, yes, Jimmy Garoppolo's good with Trey Lance. He's got no beef with Trey Lance, but does he have beef with Kyle Shanahan, who is, actively going out and finding Jimmy Garoppolo's replacement and coming out in these pre-draft press conferences saying that they want a starting quarterback? So let's see what Jimmy Garoppolo's got to say about Kyle Shanahan and the communication. So here we go. Shanahan, this isn't the quote, but we're leading up to the quote right here. Shanahan made it clear that there was no timetable or definitive plan for Lance to take the starting job, and that he expected Garoppolo, who was slated to count $26 million against the 2021 salary cap, to remain with the team and continue as a starter. This is what Jimmy G says, quote, who's saying this? All right, this is Kyle Shanahan then, and then we'll get to Jimmy Garoppolo. "I want Jimmy to be here, and I want this kid brought along," Shanahan said. "I want to see how Lance does, and if it turns into a competition, it turns into a competition. I'd be excited about that if he showed he was ready for it and stuff, but we know where Jimmy's at. Lance hasn't played football in a year, right? He hasn't been to an OTA. I love to get him here. It'd be very hard for me to picture a situation where Jimmy's not here on Sunday, because that would be, I think, very stressful for us, because Jimmy's a very good player, and I think that we can win with him. So we'll play that by ear, but I expect Jimmy to be here, and I'd be surprised if he wasn't. And then Jimmy kind of, responds to that. The chip will always be there. That hasn't gone away at all since I got into the league. I've had that. I think that kind of comes from just the way you were raised and everything like that. My dad was an electrician, blue-collar guy, and I think it kind of just rubs off on you. It's kind of the way the league is going nowadays. Everybody is drafting young, wants to get the development guys and things like that. So I kind of know what it is. I've been on both sides of it now, but at the end of the day, like I said earlier, all you can really ask for is the opportunity. Once you get that, you've got to go and take advantage of it. So Jimmy Garoppolo's kind of taking this all very well. It's great. It's great to see. It's great to hear that he's not kind of taking it too personally. He still knows, hey, I'm still kind of the starter here. Trey Lance hasn't played in a year. He's coming from the FCS to the NFL, different game. Even Jimmy Garoppolo said, hey, this is a little bit different here, of the quote that we just read. And, Jimmy Garoppolo still has the faith of Kyle Shanahan, saying that Kyle Shanahan just said that, Jimmy Garoppolo is a very good football player. He can win. He can help us win. So it's just kind of seeming like the 49ers just drafted Trey Lance as a little bit of an insurance policy if Jimmy Garoppolo gets injured again. So we're starting to see this kind of quarterback picture here with the 49ers a little bit clearer here. It's seeming like Jimmy Garoppolo is right now the starter. I don't think anybody's doubting that. Right now, at this moment, Jimmy Garoppolo is the starter, but we have to see what Trey Lance is going to do at the OTAs and the mini camps and all that, preseason, all that. But Trey Lance is definitely going to have to go out and win the starting job, showing that he can kind of get it done, win games, play well throughout an entire game, back-to-back games, 3 games in a row, 4 games in a row. So Jimmy Garoppolo is the starter here, and I think he'll be the starter all season unless he gets injured, or unless, he starts the season like 0-8, and then at that point the season's over, and you might as well just put Trey Lance out there. So Jimmy G taking it, being a real great guy out here. Love to see it. Alrighty, let's move on to this with the Panthers. Matt Rule's confidence in Sam Darnold led the Panthers to passing on a quarterback at number 8. Quote, now we just have to make sure Sam's a great player for us. So, like we've been saying, these head coaching narratives, Matt Rule got rid of Teddy Bridgewater, who kind of proved himself to be a good quarterback with the Panthers, just couldn't be clutch, kept all the games close, made those 2 wide receivers that they had 1,000-yard wide receivers, didn't have the running back, didn't have Christian McCaffrey, but he goes and gets Sam Darnold instead. So let's see what Matt Rule is saying here. In the mind of second season head coach Matt Rule, it wasn't because he doesn't see bright futures in the quarterbacks who were available in the draft. It's that he's confident in where Darnold can take this team. Quote, I love those guys, and I think they're all going to be great NFL players, talking about the quarterbacks in the draft class. I just think for us, when we got Sam, knowing he's 23 years old, just turned 24, we just felt like Sam plus another player would be better for the team overall. We're just trying to build the whole team, and I just believe in Sam. I believe that he deserves the opportunity to go out and play with us. Teddy Bridgewater kind of deserved the opportunity to, play 2 years with a new head coach in this league. But, all right, Matt Rule doesn't see that. I think those other young quarterbacks are going to be fantastic players, but the hit rate on first-round quarterbacks isn't real high. And to have a chance to get J.C. Horn and have Sam Darnold, we just kind of felt like, hey, this is 2 for 1. Now we just have to make sure Sam's a great player for us. So got to see what Sam Darnold can do this season. Haven't really seen him be that great with the Jets, just because the Jets were an absolute garbage organization with Todd Bowles as a head coach and Adam Gase as a head coach. 2 real big swings and misses at the head coach position. We know Todd Bowles was a fantastic defensive coordinator, but not a head coach, especially with that Jets team. But, Sam Darnold hasn't really been in a winning culture, a winning organization, so we'll see if he's able to kind of play at that kind of high level needed to produce wins out in the field. But Matt Rule is feeling confident with Sam Darnold, but let's see what he says on this last quote right here. Rule likes what he's seen enough from Darnold for rebuilding the Panthers to trade for him. Quote, I can't remember what we were watching a cut of, and Sam was playing on the other side of the ball, and a couple of times he made some throws, and Phil Snow, our defensive coordinator, was like, man, that kid looks like Matt Stafford. And so we put a couple of games on. This is the defensive staff, and they're all like, you know what, every game we watch, he makes a couple of big time plays, and there has to be some meat on the bone there, Rule said. So kind of went through the process and kept watching him and going back and watching him in college and watching his pro day, and then going back and watching his first year in a different offense in the second year and third year. So when the comparison was enough where we didn't have to give up what we thought was too much that would hurt our team and a chance to get him here, we'd watch so much tape on him that we saw enough shining moments. So Sam Darnold impressing Matt Rule, impressing, Matt Rule's defense that he put together here in Carolina. So he's given Sam Darnold a chance here. We'll see how Sam Darnold plays this year. Teddy Bridgewater still has a chance to play with the Broncos, maybe try to prove Matt Rule a little wrong here, that chip on his shoulder. I mean, we hear, players having chip on their shoulders every single season. I mean, you can't go a season without saying, you know what, I'm playing so well this year because I got a chip on my shoulder. They didn't draft me number 4, and I got, I didn't even go to the second round. I got traded away from this team to this team, and now I've got something to prove. So we'll see what happens here. We'll see if Matt Rule made the real clear choice. Watch what the coaches are doing this year, folks. There's a lot of great narratives surrounding head coaches this year. And if we want to go to this one, let's go to this one, talking about good decisions and bad decisions made by head coaches. We'll talk about it. We're going to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars draft today on the show. But we kind of like what Urban Meyer has been doing so far with this Jaguars team. But we're getting into the first real issue we're having with Urban Meyer, and that's that Urban Meyer really believes Tim Tebow can help the Jaguars as a tight end? No, he cannot. No, he cannot. What the hell is going on? Why is everybody wanting Tim Tebow all of a sudden? Where did this narrative come from? I absolutely hate it. I know that they were in Florida together as the head coach and the quarterback. I get that. But this man was a quarterback in this league and hasn't played since 2012, folks. He is 9 years removed from the league and thinks that he can kind of come in and be a tight end, one of the most physical positions that there are in the game of football. And plus, Tim Tebow is 6'2". What are you doing as a 6'2" tight end in this league? Nothing. Do you see what Darren Waller is doing at 6'6"? He's sprinting as fast as Tyreek Hill and is catching as great as DeAndre Hopkins. Do you see what Travis Kelce's doing at the tight end position at 6'5"? Winning Super Bowls, getting production in the Super Bowl. Do you see what Gronk is doing at 6'5"? He's recovering from back surgeries and still playing at a high level. Tim Tebow is 10 years removed from this league at a quarterback position. He's got no idea what it means to be a tight end in today's NFL. Did you just see the number 4 overall pick in this year's draft, Kyle Pitts? Do you think, you look at those two players, Tim Tebow and Kyle Pitts, and tell me if there's any drastic differences between those two players, because I guarantee you there's 1,000,000% difference between Tim Tebow and Kyle Pitts out here. Kyle Pitts, once again, a fantastic catching tight end in college, will definitely work in this league because we've seen what Darren Waller can do, and Kyle Pitts is maybe even better than Darren Waller. We'll have to see, but he's at least as good as Darren Waller is. So, no, Tim Tebow will not help the Jaguars at the tight end position or at all. He's not a leader. I mean, Tim Tebow couldn't even make it as a quarterback in this league. Yes, he won a playoff game flukily, a wild, blown coverage assignment defensively that made them beat the Steelers in the freaking in the first round of the playoffs for 1 year. That's it. And then he couldn't make it work anywhere else. And then he tried to go play baseball. That didn't work. And now he tried to go on ESPN and be a commentator. That didn't work. And now he wants to be a freaking tight end in this league 9 years removed from the sport. Please save us. Spare us. We don't want to see Tim Tebow anymore. I don't want to see Tim Tebow anymore. I've lost all respect for him ever since he went on ESPN and said that college football players don't deserve to get to get paid after this man was having every single silver spoon in his mouth, never worried about money in his entire life, but he's got, financial advice for all these other people in college. So what the hell is that about? So I've got no respect for this man. I'm over, these players that think that they can kind of, take years off. I mean, Jason Witten, did you see what he did? I mean, he took a year off to kind of go and be in the broadcast booth. That didn't work out. That was absolutely not good at all. And I don't want to knock Jason Witten, but you're a great football player. You really aren't great at two things as good at two things equally. And commentating definitely did not work out. So he came back to the NFL. And what happened? He was looking like a shell of himself. He was not getting it done. He was looking slow. He was looking weak. It wasn't really doing anything, really helping the team in any way. And he couldn't make it. So you think Tim Tebow not playing for 9 years, where Jason Witten spent his entire career being a tight end, took one season off, and I know he was aging out of this league, but Tim Tebow already aged out of the league. So what are we talking about here? Jason Witten couldn't make it 1 year removed from the NFL, trying to get back to being a great tight end in this league, but Tim Tebow, 9 years removed, hasn't played football, went to baseball, being a college analyst for ESPN. I mean, folks, please, if honestly, if Urban Meyer goes out and gets Tebow, I don't even know what to say. I wouldn't be rooting for Urban Meyer anymore. I think that's a absolutely garbage move to do. It makes absolutely no sense. If you want to bring him in to kind of be a veteran piece, but nobody's going to respect Tim Tebow. Who respects Tim Tebow? I don't think anybody does. If you brought in this guy to my locker room and I was a young player in this league, I'd be like, why the hell is this guy here? What the hell? What is he going to bring to us? He hasn't been in this league for 9 years. Because he was a quarterback? Mediocre, one fluke playoff win, and you think he's good? Come on. Bill Belichick couldn't even do anything with this man. He was that bad. So, Tim Tebow and Urban Meyer, please, Urban Meyer, do not do this. You had a good draft. We're going to praise you in a second, but please do not do this. Please do not go and get Tim Tebow. Really believes Tim Tebow can help the Jaguars oh my goodness, as a tight end. The man is 6'2". The man is 6'2". What's it? 6'2", 230. Come on, man. No. George Kittle destroys them. Travis Kelce destroys them. Ron Gronkowski destroys them. Aaron Hernandez destroys them, folks. And we don't even have to go into all that, but Oh my goodness. I cannot believe. If Tebow's back in this league, I don't even know what to say anymore. If if Tebow gets brought back into this league, but he's lucky Teddy Bridgewater got a second chance somewhere in Denver, because I cannot live in a world where Tebow is on a roster and Teddy Bridgewater is not. I would not be able to live in this world. So we'll see. But Urban Meyer, please do not do this. Please do not do this. Alrighty, let's go to some good news here. Justin Fields getting back in the weight room, getting it done. Yes, sir. Look at that nice sprint there. Great dual threat quarterback coming into Chicago, going to be the starter, going to be the face of the franchise, and just hopefully he can get it done with Matt Nagy. We need to see instant success. I mean, I think this draft class is absolutely not great at the quarterback position. I think Trevor Lawrence will be great just because, he had 3 good years at Clemson. Justin Fields has the second highest chance to be a great player in this league. Trey Lance is not going to be good. Mac Jones is not going to be good. It's really either going to be Zach Wilson or Justin Fields. One of those two quarterbacks will have a great career in this league, but those other 3 are not, folks. So hopefully it's Justin Fields, and we'll see what Matt Nagy can do with it. But here he is in the gym, getting right, getting into NFL shape, trying to be the guy here, and I'm all about it. So we're definitely wishing Justin Fields a lot of success and a lot of early success there with the Bears. Alrighty, yesterday on the show, we heard, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, why he fell in the draft was because, some teams kind of saw some heart issues with this man that kind of scared him away. But now we get that, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah kind of comes out and says, I never really had any heart issues. So now what the hell is going on with this? Who was right? So when we go in the article right here, We just get a quote here that's really kind of ambiguous. We really don't know what the hell he's trying to say here, but this is what the Koromoa says here. Quote, you got news. You got a lot of news within the draft and the process you're going through. There was something that came up in terms of what guys were saying, but in terms of me, in terms of the personal aspect, there were no really heart issues at all. There was nothing that was too ticked off, and we went back to Notre Dame and looked at the medical records and everything. I never really had any heart issues or anything going on there. You know, you hear a lot of things, but you've got to get it from the source. So he's saying that he never really had any heart issues, but these teams saying that they were, but then the Browns said that he didn't really have anything. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah's comments echoed that of the Browns general manager, Andrew Berry, who earlier in the day dismissed the heart concerns, telling 92.3 The Fan in Cleveland that the linebacker is, quote, completely healthy. There's really nothing in his background that would suggest he can't have a nice long career. So really kind of weird right here with all these kind of, draft or with all these kind of front office organizations saying that he has heart issues. Koromoah saying that he didn't, and that the Browns saying that there's really nothing to suggest that he's not going to have a long career. So who knows? But anyway, at the end of the day, it's an absolute steal here for the Browns, getting an absolutely great linebacker in the second round. He's going to be a star. We're big on Koromoah, so we'll see how he does. But this heart issue, is it real? Is it not? It seemed like it's not really that real. So alrighty, let's keep moving on here. Teddy Bridgewater's revised contract now that he's with the Broncos. He gets a $7 million signing bonus that's paid by the Panthers, so the Broncos don't even have to pay that $7 million. Fantastic. Then he's got the $4 million salary from the Broncos. $3 million of it is fully guaranteed, so he's getting that nice $10 million this season. Fantastic. Hopefully he can win the starting job. And he's got $187,000 in per game active bonuses, so the man's going to be cashing out all season long. Hopefully he's the starter. But the good thing is that it's only a one-year deal here for Teddy Bridgewater in Denver. In 2022, Teddy Bridgewater can be a free agent. So if it doesn't work out here for the Broncos, he's going to have another opportunity to potentially go somewhere else and try it again. So I think he can kind of beat out Drew Lock here for the starting quarterback position here in Denver. And if he does, he's going to get probably signed with the Denver Broncos for a longer contract. And if for some reason they still stick with Drew Lock, maybe because he's been there for the last 2 seasons and maybe they're looking kind of close in comparison, so they just kind of go with the veteran, he's going to have another chance somewhere. So I'm hoping Teddy Bridgewater doesn't have to kind of take that third chance in 2020 being a free agent, but we'll see how he plays here in Denver. Has the infrastructure, has the running game. He's got Melvin Gordon, he's got Jerry Jeudy, a good wide receiver, he's got Noah Fant, he's got that Tim Patrick, he's like 6'3", so we saw what Teddy Bridgewater did with the receivers there in Carolina. I've got, no issues. There's no really concerns that Teddy Bridgewater can't make these better wide receivers even better than what they were last season. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater and Jerry Jeudy, oh boy, now we are cooking with that quarterback and wide receiver wombo combo. I'm all about it, but we got to see what happens in the kind of training camp and all that. But I'm expecting Teddy Bridgewater to win the starting job, and it's great because the Broncos didn't draft a quarterback, so it's either going to be Teddy B or Drew Lock. And come on, folks, Drew Lock threw, 52% completion percentage last year. Absolutely garbage. So I'm going to rock with Teddy Bridgewater on this competition, folks. Alrighty, let's keep moving on here. Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott on injury recovery. I could play a game right now. Yes, sir. Coming off that ankle fracture. Definitely kind of this Cowboys team needs Dak Prescott, folks. We saw how bad they floundered with every single position. Andy Dalton, the running game, the wide receivers, the coaching staff, the defense of the Cowboys. Everything was absolutely atrocious as soon as Dak Prescott got injured. injured last season. So he's the lifeblood of this team. He's a true leader, and we're looking for him to get it right done week 1 here for the Cowboys. He's ready to rock, gonna kind of shore up his kind of, rehab process, his injury process for the remainder of this offseason. But this man's going to be ready to rock week 1, ready to sling it around and compete in the NFC East. That's really tight right now. You got Ron Rivera in Washington. You got Daniel Jones in year 3 there with the Giants. They got an absolutely stacked offensive roster now. So, Dak Prescott, you better be ready, man. You've got to get it done here for the Cowboys. Your roster, your at least offensive roster is too good to not have success in this league. But we believe in Dak Prescott, so we've got no issues here. This NFC East is going to be a real great showdown. We get Dak Prescott coming off the injury. We get Jalen Hurts his first year starting. We get Danny Dimes back with Saquon Barkley, yes sir, with Kenny Golladay, yes sir, even more. And then we get Ron Rivera, probably the worst roster in the NFC East. But Ron Rivera's like, hey, I won the division last year, first year here. I'm gonna do the same thing. I got Taylor Heineke. I don't need Dak Prescott. I don't need Saquon Barkley. I don't need whatever the Eagles got going on over there. I got my guys. Yeah, they're not the big A1 tier 1 wide receivers, but I can coach, and that's all you need in this league, coachability. And Ron Rivera's got the best of it. He can get the best out of his players whenever he needs it. That's why they got to the playoffs. That's why they were only 1 possession away from upsetting the Bucs and Tom Brady in the playoffs. So going to be an absolute bloodbath, a slugfest in the NFC East, and I'm all about it, folks. We'll see what Dak Prescott can do, though. Alrighty, well, we can't go a day without talking Aaron Rodgers, so here we go, folks. Always making the headlines. I am sick of it. I am sick of Aaron Rodgers. If I was the Packers organization, I would be like, you know what, you're out of here. You're out of here. I'm over all this nonsense, bringing a bad kind of look to our name, and hey, we can tolerate it for so much, maybe 1 instance, 2 instances, but, it's just way more hassle than he's worth. Honestly, he's at the back end of his career, still can't beat Tom Brady, still can't win the NFC Championship games, even, going 13-3 and having absolutely stacked offensive weapons, but he needs more. The greatest quarterback of all time needs more. Womp. But here we go. Aaron Rodgers reportedly mocked the Packers general manager, Brian Gutekunst. I don't know how to pronounce that man's last name. But the Packers general manager in a team group chat by calling him Jerry Krause. And if you know that name from the kind of the Bulls history, or if you just watched the Last Dance documentary about Michael Jordan and the Bulls, Jerry Krause was kind of, rubbing a lot of people the wrong way. He kind of broke up that Bulls team after that first three-peat, and everybody kind of resented him for it. But at the end of the day, he won 6 championships as the general manager for the Bulls. So what is this insult that Aaron Rodgers is even saying here? That he's calling, Brian Gutekunst Jerry Krause? All right, well, Jerry Krause was a winner. So, yeah, his personality was abrasive. Yes, he rubbed people the wrong way. Yes, he kind of blew up an organization, but he still won 6 rings. Aaron Rodgers, you can't even get to 6 Super Bowls. You've only gotten to 1, and you lose every single NFC championship game. So I'm so over Aaron Rodgers, folks. Once again, there's got to be some point here where this front office of the Packers are just like, all right, enough is enough. Now you're starting to turn the entire team against us, and we can't have that. We got to just cut off the bad piece of the arm before it starts affecting, the rest of the body, folks. And honestly, if I was the front office here for the Packers, I would honestly, I would trade Aaron Rodgers to the Lions straight up for Jared Goff. No picks, no other players, nothing of the sorts. It's just straight up trade for Aaron Rodgers to Jared Goff. For 2 reasons I do that. First of all, it sends Aaron Rodgers to the worst team in the NFL, the Detroit Lions. Good luck with Dan Campbell as a head coach. You want to kind of disrespect our general manager, our front office, our head coach? Alrighty, then go play with Dan Campbell in that organization that hired Matt Patricia and Dan Campbell back to back. Because if you're saying our organization is so trash, well, we're going to actually send you to an actual trash organization in Detroit. Have fun there. Good luck going going 13-3. Good luck winning an NFC Championship game with the Lions. Good luck. We wish you good luck. We honestly wish you the best of luck, Aaron. Please have success there with Detroit. So that's the first reason I send him there. And then for the second reason, if he wants to go all these kind of mental games of trying to kind of be the bigger brain and trying to get in all these subtle digs on Jeopardy, having these group chats calling our general manager Jerry Krause, I trade him straight up for Jared Goff just as a little bit of a mental game for Aaron Rodgers. Hey, we don't think you're even better than Jared Goff, and Jared Goff just got thrown away by that Rams organization. So I want that left in Aaron Rodgers' head. That's why we don't want any other picks. That's why we don't want any other compensation. Yes, we know Aaron Rodgers is better than Jared Goff. I mean, absolutely. But I want that in Aaron Rodgers' head. The last thing he knows from our organization that we think that we can win. And could you imagine if they won with Jared Goff year one, like the Bucs did year one with Tom Brady? Just that mental game. Fuck you, Aaron Rodgers. You want to talk all this trash. You want to get out of here. That's fine. But we're taking Jared Goff because we believe in Jared Goff. We think he's better than you. We're going to trade you straight up for him. And good luck in Detroit. You're going to definitely need it. I'm over Aaron Rodgers, folks. 1,000%. If you want to have all this big personality in this kind of, God complex that's bigger than any other athlete I think I've seen ever, then go ahead. Then go ahead and leave and good luck somewhere else because we've given you all the pieces. What more do you need? Tom Brady doesn't cry for pieces every single season. He kind of does, but he's able to because he wins every single year. Aaron Rodgers has one ring, y'all. One ring. That's good. Yes, that's good. You've won a championship, absolutely. But when we're comparing it to the greatest of all time, I mean, folks, how many times do we have to bring up that he went head-to-head with Tom Brady the first year in the NFC that Tom Brady came over, and he lost, and Tom Brady threw 3 picks, and Aaron Rodgers still couldn't get it done. 1,000% over Aaron Rodgers. Trade him to the Lions. Sayonara. Good luck. Bye-bye, Aaron Rodgers. We're out of here. We're done with you. Stop ruining our organization because you think you deserve something. I don't even know what. Come out and publicly tell us what you respect, what you want. Do you want more respect? Do you want more weapons? What is it, Aaron? Give us a firm answer. Don't go on Jeopardy and, show the final answer of a dig of why your head coach kicked a field goal. Stop with all that nonsense. Go retire. Go somewhere else. We don't want you anymore. Goodbye. Over this man. Truly, every day we're getting something with this dude. Win. Can you win? You're not even winning, dude. You're not even winning. How are you going 13-3 back-to-back years but can't even beat the last game to get to the Super Bowl? How do you lose to literally your biggest rival ever the first year you're in the same division and you were at home? This man, y'all, this man's got some great fans because everybody defends him instantly. He's just like Kyrie Irving. We compare him a lot. But man, oh man, it's enough is enough with this man. I would get rid of him if I'm telling you honestly, folks, if I was in the position that the Packers general manager is in right now, I'm trading this man to the Lions straight up for Jared Goff. That is it. So that's the Aaron Rodgers news that we have for today, folks. Just truly annoying this man is. I can't believe it, folks. I can't believe it. Well, I guess I can't believe it because, this man can't even get along with his own family, folks. Truly, he's got family issues. I don't know what they are, so I'm going to try to figure out real quick, but there's all these rumors that Aaron Rodgers doesn't even get along with his own family, folks. So now we have to start looking at the actual person. This man is, do I call him a psychopath, a sociopath? He could be. So let me get this up real quick. I wasn't planning on getting this up on the show, but since we just brought it up, why not? Family issues. What do we got? Anything good? Why doesn't Aaron Rodgers talk to his family? That's an article, folks. Their relationship is complicated. Will we get anything here? I can go through this very quickly. Let's see. It all started with an interview Aaron did with his ex-girlfriend, Danica Patrick. Yeah, remember he dated that girl? Danica Patrick, like the first female NASCAR driver. Alrighty, so an interview with Aaron Rodgers with his ex-girlfriend Danica Patrick for her podcast, Pretty Insane. Alrighty, Aaron's feelings about organized religion were loud and clear. I don't know how you can believe in a God who wants to condemn most of the planet in a fiery hell. He's not wrong, but it's not something a lot of people say publicly. What type of loving, sensitive omnipresent, omnipotent being wants to condemn his beautiful creation to a fiery hell at the end of all this. So once again, just kind of his God complex. His thinking is the only good thinking. I'm actually thinking about these issues. Look at how big my brain is. Folks, I'm using omnipresent. I'm using omnipotent. I've got a big brain IQ. I'm hosting Jeopardy. Look at me. Look how smart I am. Anything else here? Aaron's relationship with his family is complicated. Here's the thing, though. The relationship strain between Aaron and his family isn't anything new. Actress Olivia Munn, who previously dated the football star. This man's dating Olivia Munn. Danica Patrick shared that Aaron hadn't spoken to his family for 8 months when they began the relationship in 2014. Because of Olivia's encouragement, however, it seems there was an attempt at reconciliation. Quote, they had a really nice conversation. Then they started coming out my first year when I was in Green Bay in 2014. I just think it was really important to try and mend things in a family, and I encourage that. All right, well, what's the issues? What are the issues? We want to know the issues. Alrighty. Although she didn't come out right and say it, Olivia hinted that members of Aaron's family may have been taking advantage of Aaron's success in order to further their own careers. All right, well, that's definitely annoying, and Aaron Rodgers has definitely has the right to be upset with that, of your family kind of mooching off of you a little bit. So we can understand that. Is that all it is? Aaron's brother Jordan appeared on The Bachelorette during JoJo Fletcher's 2016 season, and ahead of JoJo meeting the Rodgers family during the hometown date episode, Jordan explained why the Green Bay Packers quarterback wouldn't appear on camera. Quote, it's just the way he's chosen to do life, Jordan said at the time. I chose to stay close with my family and my parents and my brother. He continued, quote, it's something we don't really like talking about a whole lot. It pains both of us not to have that relationship, like we miss our brother. I trust in that, God brings things full circle. Alrighty, well, the family talking about God's bringing everything full circle, and then you got, Aaron Rodgers, those kind of religion quotes. So that could be one thing about it. Alrighty. But so it's religion, it's seeming like. Money is some of it that it's seeming like. So can't even get along with his own family. And he's definitely not getting along here with the organization. But that's where we'll leave it with Aaron Rodgers. I'm sure there'll be more news. We still don't even know if he's playing this season. So we've still got another kind of 4 months of information that's going to be pouring out if Aaron Rodgers is playing, retiring, with the Packers, without the Packers. So we've got a lot of stuff to track, but that's where we are at currently with Aaron Rodgers, folks. Alrighty, let's move on to some basketball stories. Here we go. Zach LaVine plans to play tomorrow. Fantastic. The Bulls definitely need him back. They've got 7 games left. Let's see where they're at currently in the playoff standing. Currently the 12th seed at 26 wins, and they are 4 games back from that 10th seed to try and grab a playoff positioning spot. Or a play-in tournament spot. So definitely need to kind of run the gauntlet here these last 7 games, win out their last 7 games. So Zach LaVine, hopefully you got the rest you needed. Hopefully you're all good to go. Because you need to win. You need to start winning. You need to win now. You need to win out. And it's going to come down to Zach LaVine and Vucevic. Can they get it done? Can they try to make a push here? It's going to be tough because not only are they battling their own record, they have to go out and beat the Wizards record, the Raptors record, and the Pacers record. So it's going to be real tough here for the Bulls. But Zach LaVine is finally healthy now. Can they get it done? That's something that we'll have to keep in mind. And we'll definitely look at it a little bit more closely tomorrow when their game is actually coming up. Alrighty, here we go. LeBron is expected to be out the next 2 games to rest his ankle. Needing wins here, this Lakers team. They are now currently the 6th seed in the Western Conference, just barely out of that play-in tournament. 1 full game ahead of the Blazers at number 7. So, LeBron out these next 2 games, 7 games left, need to start winning, securing this kind of firm playoff spot at number 6, not 7, 8, 9, and 10 for that play-in tournament. So, Lakers Lakers are going to be without LeBron for a couple of days here, which is, I mean, to be expected. I mean, we just read those quotes the other day on the show of, him saying, oh, I came back a little bit too early. We knew he was going to be out for a couple of games, and here it is. Alrighty, and then we get a story here. I thought we were going to get some juicy details, but there's literally nothing in the story, so we could just talk about the headline here. ESPN story on Pacers coach Nate Nate Jorgen's uncertain future amid turmoil within the locker room and the organization of the Pacers. There's literally no quotes about this turmoil within the locker room and the organization. There's nothing. So the Pacers are underwhelming. They've won nothing. They're barely the 9th seed here in the Eastern Conference just because of how bad the Raptors, the Bulls, the Magic, the Cavs, and the Pistons have been this season. That's why they're the 9th seed. They're gonna get overtaken by this Wizards team at the end of the regular season. When it's all said and done, the final rankings, we just walked through the schedule yesterday on the show. The Wizards will be the 9th seed. This Pacers team is underwhelming every single game. I really hope they don't even make the play-in tournament. I mean, folks, they're going to lose. I mean, there's no fight that they put up to even try to get in the play-in tournament. So we want to see the Raptors or the Bulls try to get in there, but really their record, unfortunately, the Raptors and Bulls have been very, very lackluster as well this season. So I'm sure Nate Jorgensen is going to be out next season here for the Pacers. I mean, there's really no reason not to move off of this, man. You're not getting it done with Sabonis and Karis LeVert. I mean, you've got two real solid pieces here offensively, and you're not even winning games. Like, you're not even in the top 8 seeds here in the Eastern Conference, and the Eastern Conference is very, very lackluster compared to the Western Conference. So, expect the head coach for the Pacers to be out next season, definitely. And another head coach that's probably going to be out as well. I mean, the Blazers are likely to move on from head coach Terry Stotts, barring a miracle playoff run. But even a miracle playoff run, I mean, we've got to get rid of this man. I mean, there's too much talent on that Blazers team. I mean, you've got just the stars of McCollum and Nurkic and obviously Damian Lillard. You've got a great bench of Enes Kanter and Carmelo Anthony. You even just kind of brought in Norman Powell, and we're not calling him a superstar yet, but he's a very great scorer. So you've got nice offensive pieces in the offensive line, in the starting roster, the starting rotation, and off the bench. And you've got players that have great athleticism that you still haven't been able to kind of work into the game. Anthony Simons, he's a young emerging athletic superstar. Derek Jones Jr., an absolutely stud athletically. But we're seeing no great contributions by those young emerging athletic stars, and it's kind of hindering this team's performance off the bench. There's no reason why Derek Jones Jr. should not be getting at least 10 plus points off the bench, or Anthony Simons to get 10 plus points off the bench every single night, but we're seeing nothing close to that. So yes, definitely got to get rid of this man, bring in somebody else to try and help this team out, because it's not working. We've been talking about this Blazers team the same way these last 3 years, folks. They've got great talent, but they're always underwhelming in their record. They are always underwhelming in their playoff series. And if it's not Damian Lillard going absolutely manic of a freaking clutch buzzer beater, just greatness closer, this team isn't even going to have a fraction of the wins that they have. It's all Damian Lillard getting it done, and they're way too great offensively at the pieces that they have to be this underwhelming. So yes, Terry Stotts has to be fired this season. But then the other part of this kind of, story is that, Jason Kidd is linked among possible replacements. Why is everybody trusting Jason Kidd this much as a head coach? I'm not really buying it. I'm not really seeing it. We saw him as a head coach a couple of seasons, getting his first start with the Brooklyn Nets, and there was nothing great on this roster. I mean, you had, Kevin Garnett at the back end of his career, Paul Pierce at the back end of his career, Darren Williams at the back end of his career. So, their 44 and 38 record is pretty decent for that kind of, great superstars that are really kind of aging out of the league, and they, ended up losing in the second round of the playoffs. So not bad his first season. Then he goes to the Bucks and, doesn't do anything year one, but he has Giannis. They go 41-41, lose the first round of the playoffs. Year two, still with Giannis. Still didn't really, now they have Chris Middleton his second year in. They still got Mason Plumlee, Jabari Parker, and once again, underwhelming record of 33-49. I mean, you're not winning with Giannis, and I know this is early Giannis, but they were kind of getting better every single season here. 2016, 2017, finishing 42-40, but losing the first round of the playoffs. Then they, his last year in Milwaukee, 44-38, losing in the first round of the playoffs. So just doing nothing great here, really kind of relying on, Giannis and Eric Bledsoe and Chris Middleton and all of that. So he has some nice pieces here, but still couldn't really make it work. So I'm not really understanding. Now he's a assistant coach for this Lakers team. I'm not buying all the hype around Jason Kidd. I think he's better than Steve Nash as a head coach. I think Steve Nash is also trash as a head coach, but I would put Jason Kidd above him. So we'll see what happens here. And I don't want to kind of discourage, Jason Kidd from getting the job or anything. It's just I don't see it right now. Maybe, he's still figuring it out, and maybe he's learning a lot from this Lakers team, which there is a lot to learn about. I mean, you're learning from LeBron first and foremost, but then their head coach, Frank Vogel, has absolutely gotten it done ever since he stepped foot in the Lakers organization. So hopefully he's learning from Frank Vogel to try and bring what he learns to his next job. But I don't know if Jason Kidd is the player to do it or the coach to do it. Alrighty, those were all the stories that we needed to cover for today. So let's head over to the NBA. We'll break down what happened last night in the league in the NBA. Jeez. We'll do our moneymaker for tonight's action, and then we'll head over and start giving grades out of the draft for the AFC South teams, Titans, Colts, Texans, and Jags. But let's start here with the NBA. First game up last night, Suns and Cavs, and it goes into overtime. How crazy! Without Darius Garland, goes into overtime, but they're able to kind of blow them out in overtime. So luckily, the Suns survive against the Cavs last night, 134-118. So let's start here with the Suns since they got the win. Chris Paul, you know what he does, 23 points, 16 assists, 6 rebounds to go along with that, 4 steals to go along with all of that on 50% shooting. So an absolutely magnificent night by Chris Paul. We know what he does. Devin Booker led the team in scoring like he does, 31 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. He shot 1 of 6 from 3 as well, so not great there, but everything else fantastic. DeAndre Ayton at the 5, 15 points, 8 rebounds. Torrey Craig still at the 4, filling in for Jay Crowder, 9 points, 5 rebounds. He shot 40% from the field, so not terrible. And then McCall Bridges still at the 3, 22 points, 4 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks, 5 rebounds, 4 of 6 from 3. Starters all getting it done. Solid contribution by kind of a lot of these bench players. Frank Kaminsky in 16 minutes, 11 points, 6 rebounds. Cameron Payne, 6 points, 5 assists in only 17 minutes. Cameron Johnson didn't have the greatest night off the bench, 7 points on 30 minutes on 22% shooting and 1 of 6 from 3. So not really great there, but we get some nice contributions by Kaminsky and Payne. Dario Saric put up 7 points and 5 rebounds in only 12 minutes, so we'll take that, especially of how well the starters played. So well done for the Suns last night, the great team, and we have them kind of projected finishing number 1 in the Western Conference. Did they overtake it? Oh, yeah, they did. They did. So well done for the Suns last night, officially overtaking that number 1 seed in the Western Conference because they had the tiebreaker over the Jazz. So very well done for the Suns team getting the win. Alrighty, now let's go to the Cavs now. No Darius Garland, but Isaac Okoro steps up absolutely mammoth here. So let's talk about this team. Colin Sexton at the 1, Isaac Okoro at the 2, C.D. Osman back in the starting lineup at the 3. He had a great game. We'll talk about it. Kevin Love at the 4, still Jared Allen still at the 5. But let's talk about it here. Colin Sexton, 29 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds. We know this man's fantastic. Isaac Okoro, though, here we go at the 2, 32 points, 6 assists on 3 of 4 from 3 and 62% from the field. Absolutely fantastic. Jared Allen, 17 points, 5 assists, 8 rebounds. Great night. Kevin Love, 7 points on 20% shooting. Yikes. 11 rebounds he had, but 2 of 10 from the field. Got to be a little bit better than that. And then C.D. Osman had a great game here. 16 points, 4 of 6 from 3. Yes, sir. Didn't shoot well from the field, but that 4 of 6 from 3 is absolutely fantastic. We'll take that. And then just nothing great off the bench. Their leading scorer off the bench was Damian Dotson, 7 points. So got no real great production from their bench like they got from the Suns, and that's a huge reason why they won. So well done for the Suns last night getting the win. Alrighty, now the next game up, the Hornets and the Pistons, and the Hornets are back on top, baby, back winning games, and I absolutely love it. They win last night by 3, 102-99. Fantastic work here for the Hornets. They are still the number 8 seed, but they're, the 8th seed, and, there is, real advantage of being number 7 or 8 compared to 9 and 10 in this play-in tournament, because if you're the 7th or 8th seed, you've got 2 chances to get into the play-in tournament. Your first game is against the 7th seed. 7 and 8 play each other. Winners automatically in the playoffs. Loser faces the winner of the 9 and 10 seed. So you have 2 chances in the 8th and 7th seed to get into the playoffs. So fantastic here by this Hornets team, continuing to win once everybody's kind of back. LaMelo Ball's back. So fantastic. Alrighty, so let's talk about the Hornets now since they won. Terry Rozier at the 1, LaMelo Ball at the 2, Caleb Martin at the 3, Jalen McDaniels at the 4, and Bismack Biyombo at the 5 is their starting rotation. So Terry Rozier, 18 points, 6 assists, a little lackluster scoring the ball, 2 of 9 from 3. LaMelo Ball led the team in scoring, 23 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 of 5 from 3, yes sir. Bismack Biyombo at the 5, though, 2.6 rebounds. They really definitely need a better big. Cody Zeller, Bismack Biyombo, yes, they're solid, not, A1 tier 1 bigs out here. Jalen McDaniels, though, at the 4, 10 points, 12 rebounds. And Caleb Martin at the 3, 17 points, 2 assists, 2 steals, 5 rebounds, 2 of 8 from 3. So decent night there by the starters. LaMelo Ball getting it done, but look at this bench, folks. Brad Wanamaker, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, yes sir. Cody Zeller, 11 points, 8 rebounds. Malik Monk letting us down big time last night. Luckily, they still won, so, we can kind of excuse his performance of 2 points on 0 of 8 from the field, 0 of 5 from 3, trash shooting. Only scored because he got to the line twice, so luckily they didn't need Malik Monk. LaMelo Ball puts just enough on this game to get the win, so fantastic for the Hornets. Alrighty, now the Pistons still no Jeremy Grant, so still very glad that this Hornets team did not lose last night, but let's see who stepped up big time. Hamidou Diallo, 35 points, 7 rebounds, 63% from the field, absolutely fantastic. Sekou Doumbaya, 20 points, 8 rebounds. Sadiq Bey letting us down, 7 points on 16% shooting. Isaiah Stewart at the 5, 3 points, 7 rebounds. Killian Hayes, he had the chance to tie up the game here with a 3 ball at the end of the game. Didn't hit it. He put up 4 points on 1 of 5 from 3, 16% from the field. So nothing great here from the starters. Jahlil Okafor, though, 12 points on 100% shooting on 5 shots. Definitely would like to see him kind of, be the big name he was supposed to be in this league. And then Frank Jackson also off the bench, 14 points, 4 assists. So nothing great there from the Pistons all around, and that's what the Pistons are, folks. Nothing great. So the Hornets get the win, 102-99. Alrighty, now the big game from last night, the Nets, the Bucks, round 2. And did y'all see how great this Bucks team is just dominating this Nets team down low? I mean, absolutely fantastic here for the Bucks to beat the Nets another game, another time. Now, the Nets are still the number 2 seed, and the Bucks are still the number 3 seed here in the Eastern Conference. The Nets are still a game and a half above the Bucks at that 3rd seed. So, that 2-game win back-to-back really didn't even help their playoff positioning that well. Unfortunate for the Bucks. So the Bucks down low. Just Giannis is just getting it done, folks, and the Nets don't have any answer. DeAndre Jordan can't do it. Blake Griffin definitely can't do it. Nicholas Claxton only played 5 minutes. What the hell are you doing, Steve Nash? What is that? Nicholas Claxton should have been a huge piece in this game of trying to stop the beef down low, but you play him 5 minutes and you play Blake Griffin 27? DeAndre Jordan 15? Come on. That the beef down low was eating them all day, and Steve Nash doesn't even try to do Nicholas Claxton down low to try and stop it. So disappointing there by Steve Nash. He's not a good head coach. He's got great players, folks. I don't want to hear that Steve Nash is a good head coach ever again. Kind of like Who do we just talk about? Jason Kidd. I mean, he had Giannis for a couple of seasons. He had Kevin Garnett and, Paul Pierce. And we knew they were at the end of their career, but still, superstar is still a superstar. So let's start here with the Bucks last night. Giannis, 36 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists. He shot 4 of 12 from 3, which is totally hilarious because he was so on fire in the first quarter. I think he was like 3 of 4 from 3 in that first quarter, and that gave him so much confidence for the rest of the game. But Giannis, you're still not a great three-point shooter, 4 of 12 from last night. So rein it in a little bit, Giannis. You're not this three-point, guru. You're not Steph Curry out here. You should have just taken, the 3 of 4 for the entire game and called it a day. But he tries to extend it for the entire game, and it did not work out for the entire game. So, but very well done for the 36 points, absolutely. Drew Holiday, 23 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds, 4 of 6 from 3. Fantastic night by him. Chris Middleton steps it up as well, 23 points, 4 assists, 7 rebounds on 50% shooting. Dante DiVincenzo, 10 points. He had 15 rebounds, so 0 of 3 from 3, like we know of Dante DiVincenzo. And then Brook Lopez, 8 points, 2 rebounds. So well done here by the big names here. Giannis, the clear number 1. Drew Holiday, the 2. Chris Middleton as the 3. And Brook Lopez, I mean, he's great. And, he can kind of be the number 2 scoring option if they needed him. They just didn't need him last night. So very well done to that. And then for the bench here of the Bucks, Brian Forbes, 14 points off the bench. That's what we're talking about. So very well done here for the Bucks, beating the Nets back-to-back, giving us some hope that this Nets team doesn't win the championship this season. It's not that we don't want the Nets to win the championship. It's just that we thought it was a little lame. I mean, everybody collectively agrees that it's lame that Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant and James Harden all teamed up because, they want rings. That's fine. We get it, but it's a little lame in terms of competition. Just a little lame. Alrighty, let's talk about the Nets now. Kyrie Irving had a great night, led the team in scoring, 38 points, 2 blocks, 3 steals, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 6 of 12 from 3. Fantastic. But it doesn't translate to a win. Unfortunate. He didn't shoot this efficient, this great. Their first game, they lose. He shoots efficient, this great. This game, they still lose. So Kyrie Irving, once again, cannot get it done. I don't know what y'all want from me. Kevin Durant got it done. 32 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 of 8 from 3, 50% from the field. Joe Harris, 12 points, 4 of 8 from 3, 2 rebounds. DeAndre Jordan, just the 2 points, 9 rebounds, a -8 on the floor. Jeff Green, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 2 of 3 from 3, but -18 on the floor. Kyrie Irving, -10 on the floor, not getting it done defensively. All right, what else do we get here off the bench? Nothing great. Blake Griffin, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. He was a +13 on the floor, so decently getting it done off the bench defensively, I guess, against the Bucks bench, but we'll give him some credit there. Nicholas Claxton playing 0 or 5 minutes is just disrespectful. Bruce Brown, 2 points in only 11 minutes. So Mike James, he's been kind of emerging a little bit of a scorer here for the bench of the Nets, 10 points in 9 minutes, so we'll take that. But you got to do something. You've got to try and figure out what lineup is going to beat the Bucks, because if you face them in the Eastern Conference playoffs in a 7-game series, we just got kind of a mini sample of that, and they definitely need James Harden. Hopefully he can come back soon, but the Nets lose again against the Bucks, back-to-back games down the stretch of the season, man. Gotta respect this Bucks team, man, truly. And maybe this is the year the Bucks get it done, folks. Maybe this is finally the year that the Bucks will win and come out of the Eastern Conference, because they've been trying, folks. They've truly been trying these last 5 years, and just always underwhelming in the playoffs. But maybe this is the year, folks. They just beat the Nets twice back to back. Pretty gosh darn good. Alrighty, now let's move on to the Mavericks and the Heat now, and the Mavericks get the win, 127-113 over the Heat. Not great for this Heat team, still at that number 6 seed, half a game above the Celtics for that play-in tournament spot at number 7. And the Mavericks, a win here, they're still not, or they are number 5 now, fantastic. They leapfrogged the Lakers a little bit there at the 5th seed, so well done for this Mavericks team, and I think, man, oh man, I think we can give Tim Hardaway Jr. maybe Sixth Man of the Year. What an absolute performance by him, getting into the starting rotation and being the leading scorer, being efficient, getting it done. So let's start here with this Mavericks team. Still no Porzingis, and they're able to get the win with just Luka Doncic and Tim Hardaway Jr. So shout out to the Mavericks here. So let's start here with the Mavericks. Here we go. Tim Hardaway Jr., 36 points on 10 of 18 from 3 and 54% from the field on 24 shots. Fantastic last night. Led the team in scoring. Luka Doncic, 23 points, 8 assists, 12 rebounds, getting it done, 5 of 12 from 3. Josh Richardson, 17 points, 3 of 5 from 3. Fantastic. Willie Cauley-Stein filling in at the 5 here, only 2 points and 3 rebounds. But then Dorian Finney-Smith moving over to the 4 for Tim Hardaway Jr. to play the 3. But Dorian Finney-Smith, 12 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Really great night by all of these starters here for the Mavericks without Porzingis. What a night. And then off the bench, it didn't stop there. Jalen Brunson, 19 points. Yes, sir. That's fantastic. And they were able to get the win last night. So an absolute great game here for the Mavericks. And don't sleep on Tim Hardaway Jr., folks. A huge candidate here for Sixth Man of the Year. If we have to rank it right now, honestly, I think I put Tim Hardaway Jr. as the Sixth Man of the Year, folks. The only reason that Jordan Clarkson, it's because he's on a stacked team. That Jazz team, they're already great in the bench. I mean, he takes like 20 shots a night, folks. So of course he's going to be putting up 19 points a game. But Tim Hardaway Jr. here, stepping it up big time in the starting rotation. Gotta love it. Alrighty, now let's talk about the Heat. Now, no Jimmy Butler, no Tyler Hero, so a little unfortunate there. Andre Iguodala has to step up in the starting lineup, and we know he's not that great of a starter. He's great off the bench, absolutely, but not really the starter. Really aging out of this league. Not even that really kind of an offensive threat either. Even when he's fully in his prime, you know what I mean? Great defender, don't get us wrong, but definitely needed some offense here, and that's something that he did not provide. So let's talk about it here. Kendrick Nunn at the 1, 14 points, 3 assists, and I'm a little upset that Goran Dragic came off the bench. He wasn't in the starting lineup, but I guess I get it. They don't really have anything great off the bench, especially without Tyler Hero. You've got nothing great off the bench, so I guess I get it. But maybe I'd put Kendrick Nunn off the bench, maybe Duncan Robinson off the bench, but we digress a little bit. So here we go. Kendrick Nunn, 14 points, 3 assists, but 2 of 7 from the 3, 31% on 16 shots. Not the greatest. Duncan Robinson had a good game. He actually led the team in scoring with 19 points, along with Goran Dragic, also 19 points. But well done for Duncan Robinson. 19 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 of 11 from 3, just solid. Bam Adebayo, really kind of expected him to have a little bit of a bigger offensive role here, only putting up 11 points. He had 11 assists and 9 rebounds, which is good, but just 11 points for the man. Trevor Ariza steps up big time here, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 of 7 from 3, yes sir. But then we get Andre Iguodala at the 3, 0 points on only 2 shots, just not getting it done. And then off the bench, they had some nice performances. Goran Dragic, the 19 points, the 5 rebounds, the 3 assists. Gabe Vincent in only 12 minutes, 14 points. So not bad there. Just unfortunately missing Jimmy Butler, missing that kind of other starting offensive score. And that's why they lose by 14. Alrighty, next game up is the Warriors and the Pelicans, and they're in the back-to-back, and the Pelicans are able to beat the Warriors this time. Fantastic. Lonzo Ball had a magnificent game, so we can start here with the Pelicans. Lonzo Ball, 33 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds, 7 of 13 from 3. Fantastic night. We get these nights every so often here with Lonzo Ball. He just did it last night at an absolutely crucial time because we know this Pelicans team is really in a do-or-die scenario here. They really need to win out to try and get in that playoff spot. They're 2 games officially out from that 10th seed to kind of take the Spurs out and the Pelicans get in. So definitely would like to see this Pelicans team in the play-in tournament over the Spurs. I don't think any of these teams will do anything when they get to the playoffs, and I don't even think they'll win the play-in tournament, obviously. Or either. They have to either face the Warriors or the Grizzlies to get into the playoffs, or the Blazers or the Warriors to get in the playoffs, and I don't know if they can do that. I don't know if they can kind of win that one game when it matters. So, but they would make a more interesting story, in my opinion, than that Spurs team that's really just kind of meh overall. We got Greg Popovich and DeMar DeRozan. That's cool, but I get Zion. I'm taking Zion. All right, so great win for the Pelicans last night to keep up pace in that play-in tournament. Eric Bledsoe, 14 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. Steven Adams did play last night. We knew he was a game-time decision. 1.8 rebounds. Zion, really lackluster night compared to what he's been doing all season. 23 points, but on 47% shooting. Come on, Zion. We're 50 or better. Come on. But he had 12 rebounds and 7 assists and 4 steals to go along with that, so fantastic. Brandon Ingram, a little lackluster here, 13 points on 33% shooting, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. And then off the bench, some real actually nice performances out here. Jackson Hayes, 8.9 rebounds, playing 23 minutes. I freaking love it. Najee Marshall, 10.7 rebounds off the bench. And let's also shout out James Johnson, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists off the bench. So great night here by the Pelicans. Lonzo getting it done. Zion still having great production. Great bench. And then the Warriors, just Curry goes crazy. Andrew Wiggins goes crazy. And everybody else is just mediocre. Like we know, still no Kelly Oubre Jr. not even coming off the bench. Didn't even play last night. And they were competitive. You know, we know Kelly Oubre Jr. doesn't bring that much to this team in our opinion. But Steph Curry, 37 points, 9 rebounds, 8 of 20 from 3. Jeez Louise. Kent Bazemore still at the 2. Didn't have a great night. 5 points on 20% shooting. Kevon Looney at the 5. 8.6 rebounds. Draymond Green, 7 points, 9 assists, 12 rebounds. The classic Draymond Green game. And then Andrew Wiggins steps it up big time here. 26 points, 6 rebounds, 5 of 10 from 3. Yes, sir. And then nothing great off the bench because nothing great off the bench. They've got no great bench pieces. We know this. Michael Mulder put up 8 points, 4 rebounds. Jordan Poole put up 9 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. Just nothing great there. And they're able to lose the game because of that. So they lose by 5, 108-103. Alrighty, the Kings and the Thunder in another Kings win without De'Aaron Fox. What the hell is going on? So let's quickly run through this Kings team. Just kind of everybody getting some nice production here. For the starters, Delon Wright at the 1, 13 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. Well done. Buddy Hield, 18 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 of 13 from the 3. Raquan Holmes, 13.7 rebounds. Marvin Bagley, 13.7 rebounds. Maurice Harkless, 11 points, 4 rebounds. So really all the starters getting it done. And then off the bench, Terrence Davis, 18 points, 5 rebounds. Justin James, 13 points. So well done for the Kings. But the big story is that they're winning games without De'Aaron Fox. And I truly don't understand that. But they're on a 3-game winning streak. Really going to be tough for them to get into the play-in tournament. 3.5 games back from that 10th seed. So maybe the Kings can do it. I don't think so, but if De'Aaron Fox continues to be out, maybe. All right, now this Thunder team now. Dort did play, but we know Shai Gilgeous-Alexander didn't play. Puko Svetsky also didn't play, so unfortunate for him. But anything great here? The leading scorer was Darius Baisley with 24 points, and then the second leading scorer was Luguentz Dort with 10 points. I mean, this man's not a good shooter. I know he's kind of, a little big in the media of being kind of a newer player, but man, oh man, really streaky shooting by Luguentz Dort, man. I don't know. He had 10 points on 20% or 18% shooting on 16 shots. So nothing great here from the Thunder, and that's what we know. All right, last game of the night, the Clippers and the Raptors. We had this in our moneymaker. Raptors plus 9.5. We knew they would keep it close, and that's what they did. Unfortunately, couldn't get the win. So let's start here with the Clippers. Paul George at the 2, Kawhi Leonard at the 3. I love that Reggie Jackson was still the starting point guard, even though Patrick Beverley was back. Patrick Beverley coming off the bench, I think, is better. Reggie Jackson has great contribution in the starting lineup, has great offensive contribution in the starting lineup, where Patrick Beverley never gave us great offensive contribution. So him coming off the bench, more his speed, because we see his kind of bench production is still the same as his kind of starting production, and Reggie Jackson's better in the starting lineup. So love that by the Clippers last night. Fantastic. So Reggie Jackson at the 1, 18 points, 4 of 9 from 3, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Paul George at the 2, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Zubac still at the 5, 8 points, 8 rebounds. Marcus Morris at the 4, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 4 of 5 from 3. Well done. He shot 72% from the field. Fantastic. And then Kawhi Leonard, only 13 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, but they're able to get it done. Off the bench, anything great? Patrick Beverley off the bench, 8 points, 3 assists on only 5 shots. DeMarcus Cousins, 7 points, 6 rebounds on 4 shots. And Nicholas Batum, 7 points on 6 shots. So not taking a lot of shots, but getting some nice production there off the bench. Able to kind of win for the Clippers. And then for the Raptors last night, no Kyle Lowry, so it's just Fred VanVleet at the 1, Yuta Watanabe at the 2. Unfortunately, didn't have a great night. Siakam at the 4, Kem Birch still at the 5, and Stanley Johnson at the 3. So Fred VanVleet, 27 points, 13 assists, 5 of 14 from 3, a little all right there. Yuta Watanabe, only 6 points, 6 rebounds on 6 shots. Kem Birch, 13 points, 8 rebounds. Pascal Siakam, 24 points on 24 shots, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. And then Stanley Johnson at the 3, 5 points on 2 of 7 from the field. Anything great off the bench here? Jalen Harris, 11 points off the bench, and that was really it. So Malachi Flynn didn't give us anything great. 1 point on 3 shots. He missed all the shots, just got to the line twice and still split the free throw. So unfortunate loss here by the Raptors, but well done to keep it close, I guess. But, when we're talking about this Raptors team at the back end here, they need to start winning games to get in that playing tournament. Still 3.5 games back now. It's almost wrapped up here in the East. And, we went through the remaining schedule, walking through that, and we really didn't. We still have the Wizards and the Pacers being in the top 10 there. So Raptors, huge work ahead of them in a big loss last night that's really kind of ending their season a little bit. Alrighty, but that was all the NBA from last night. Let's get our moneymaker going here for tonight's action. Let's see if there's anything great, any great value, any great games on tonight. So let's go through it. Here we go. Games up tonight. We got the Celtics and the Magic, the Blazers and the Cavs, the Grizzlies and the Timberwolves, the Wizards and the Bucks. Ooh, Wizards, Bucks. Ooh, that's going to be a great one. Suns, Hawks, Kings, Pacers, 76ers, Rockets, Knicks, Nuggets, Spurs, Jazz. Alrighty. Some good games on. Knicks, Nuggets is going to be great. Wizards, Bucks is going to be great. Suns, Hawks should be great. Unfortunately, no nationally televised games, so going to have to get on the League Pass or NBA TV if you got that. Alrighty, but let's go to our moneymaker. Unfortunately, we went 1-1 last night. We took the Nets +2. Shame on us. We don't really take back-to-back series, and it bit us in the butt this time. And then we hit on Raptors +9.5. We knew they'd keep it close. Alrighty, let's see what we've got on for tonight's action. Here we go. First game up, Celtics, Magic. Celtics -11, Magic +11. Alrighty, for the Celtics, Tristan Thompson's a game-time decision, and Jaylen Brown is still out. Not great there. For the Magic, Terrence Ross is out, James Ennis is out, Otto Porter out, Michael Carter-Williams out. So, I'm going to stay away from this one. Just the Celtics, we know their offense is a little iffy. Evan Fournier, is he going to have a good game or not? Probably not. We just saw one good one, which means 5 bad ones are on the way down the pike. So, Celtics without Jaylen Brown, offense is going to be a little lackluster. 11 points is way too much to swallow there, so we'll stay away from it. Blazers, Cavs. Blazers -12, Cavs +12. For the Blazers, Damian Lillard is a game-time decision. Norman Powell, a game-time decision. For the Cavs, Larry Nance is out, Teron Prince is out, Matthew Dellavedova is out, Isaiah Hartenstein is out, Darius Garland is still out, and Lamar Stevenson is out. So this Cavs team, we know they're not that great offensively, but they've been keeping it close these last couple of games, especially last night against the Suns going into overtime. So we're going to have to stay away from this spread as well. Just a little bit too big here, especially if Damian Lillard doesn't play, this -12. They shouldn't have any trouble still winning without Damian Lillard, but I'm not going to swallow those 12 points there, so we'll stay away from it. Next game up, and I think this is tremendous value right here, folks. I think this is great if everybody's good to go. Suns, Hawks. Suns -1, Hawks +1, and I'm loving the Suns -1 if everybody's good to go. Jay Crowder's just out for the Suns, fantastic. And then just for the Hawks, Cam Reddish is out. Yes, the Suns team is in a back-to-back, and yes, they went into overtime, so that's never anything great. I get it. But this Hawks team is not ready to compete with the upper echelon, the top elite teams in this league, the 76ers, the Nets, the Bucks, the Suns, the Jazz. They cannot compete with these teams yet. Yes, they're kind of good. They are above average, this Hawks team. Don't get us wrong, but we're talking about this Suns team that's great from top to bottom. Starters, bench. The Hawks don't have the greatest bench. Lou Williams doesn't give us that great of production that we were kind of hoping that he would give us. Really kind of have to rely on Danilo Gallinari for other bench points, so only have to swallow one here. Basically just picking the winner. We'll take the Suns tonight, trying to keep their first seed in the Western Conference. Alrighty, next game up is the 76ers and the Rockets. 76ers minus 13, Rockets plus 13. Alrighty, a little bit of a too big of a spread here for us, so probably not going to take this. But for the 76ers, Furkan Korkmaz is out. And then for the Rockets, Eric Gordon out, John Wall out, Daniel House Jr. is a game-time decision. Sterling Brown is out, DJ Wilson's out, David Waba is out, so like we said, just a little bit too big of a spread here to take. The 76ers should have no trouble winning, but is Kevin Porter going to have a 50-point game that, they have a little bit of a backdoor cover? Probably not, but we'll stay away from it. Not really any great value here. Alrighty, now next game up, Wizards Bucks. Wizards plus 3.5, Bucks minus 3.5. I was hoping for a little bit more points here for the Wizards, like 5 or 6. Probably would have sealed the deal for us to take that. But for the Wizards, everybody's good to go. Just the usual suspects out. Denny Avdija, just because he's out for the rest of the season. And then for the Bucks, just Jeff Teague is a game-time decision. He was a game-time decision last night. Did he end up playing last night? Let's quickly take a look at that. Probably not. I don't think he did, actually. He did not. So he probably plays tonight. The one thing that I really like about the Wizards plus 3.5 here, obviously, is that they still need to kind of win and secure their own spot here at the 10th seed. Still a big lead over the Raptors, 3.5 games ahead of them. But still need to kind of win games to secure that spot. But the Bucks are just we're just in like a slugfest back-to-back games against that Nets team. So we are going to take the Wizards here plus 3.5. We think we get great value because the Bucks are kind of maybe, letting their guard down just a little bit. Not totally 100%, but the Bucks just coming off that Nets series, this Wizards team knowing they kind of need to win to kind of secure their kind of playing tournament spot. Plus we get them plus 3.5. We'll take those points. Wizards, Russell Westbrook gets it done. Hopefully the Wizards can try and do something to kind of guard the beef down low. But I think we're going to kind of take a little bit of a risk here, a little bit of a leap of faith, and take the Wizards plus 3.5 tonight. Alrighty, and then this one, folks, yes, sir, you know where the value is. Grizzlies minus 3, Timberwolves plus 3, yes, sir, we're taking those Timberwolves plus 3 all day. For the Grizzlies, Jaren Jackson is out. For the Timberwolves, Malik Beasley is still out, but I get 3 points. Y'all know how much we love this Timberwolves team. Do not be sleeping on them, absolutely not. We love them, we'll take them. Karl Anthony Towns. Does D'Angelo Russell finally get in the starting rotation? Probably not, but it doesn't matter. He's still going to play meaningful minutes. He's still going to get it done. Points, assisting, rebounding, handling that second team. So, yes, sir, Timberwolves plus 3. Y'all know Timberwolves play. We can make money easily. Our cash cow, and we are milking it, folks. The plus 3. Milk it. Alrighty, next game up, Kings-Pacers. Oh my goodness, can we get a more boring game than Kings-Pacers? Alrighty, Kings plus 6.5, Pacers minus 6.5. For the Kings, Harrison Barnes, a game-time decision. De'Aaron Fox is a game-time decision. Is he finally back after COVID-19 protocols? For the Pacers, Malcolm Brogdon, game-time decision. Miles Turner still out. Edmund Sumner, game-time decision. Goga Bitadze is a game-time decision. So, 2 bad teams. We know this Kings team is trying to get in the play-in tournament. The Pacers are trying to stay in the play-in tournament. We're going to stay away from this one. Kings plus 6.5 is a little appealing if De'Aaron Fox is not playing, because for some reason they win without him. I don't get it. Alrighty, next game up, Knicks-Nuggets. Knicks plus 4, Nuggets minus 4. For the Knicks, Nerlens Noel is a game-time decision, and Mitchell Robinson is out. And then for the Nuggets, oh my goodness, Will Barton is out. Monte Morris is out. Jokic is a game-time decision. Interesting there. PJ Dozier's out. Alrighty, so a little interesting there. This Knicks team, they keep the games close, folks. They never get blown out, even against the best teams in the league. That's what's giving us so much confidence in this Knicks team. That's why we have them kind of high on our power rankings. Got them number 4. We believe in them, and we're going to take the points here. They may not win, but they will keep it close. They will not get blown out, and maybe with all these kind of outs and game time decisions, maybe this Knicks bench can get it done and put up the points necessary to win the game. Maybe. So we'll take this Knicks team plus 4. Going to be a great one to watch. We'll see if the Nuggets can continue to win and blow off their kind of last loss there. We know this Nuggets team, they get a loss without Jamal Murray, but then they rally off a couple of wins. So we'll see if they kind of follow that same formula tonight. But we'll take the points here with the Knicks. They will keep it close. And then the last game of the night, the Jazz and the Spurs. Spurs plus 6.5, Jazz minus 6.5. Out for the Spurs. Derek White is out. Trey Lyles is out. And then for the Jazz, just Donovan Mitchell and Mike Conley still out. So we'll stay away from this one. Jazz shouldn't have any trouble winning the game, but we know the Spurs, especially, now that they kind of need to kind of still continue to win to keep their place in the play-in tournament. So this is what we have on our moneymaker tonight. Suns -1, Wizards plus 3.5, T-Wolves plus 3, and the Knicks plus 4 tonight. Alrighty, let's head over and start grading some NFL drafts. We are kind of taking it division by division. We did the AFC East, the AFC North, and now today we are doing the AFC South, grading the Titans, the Colts, the Texans, and the Jaguars draft performances. We just gave out an A+ to the Jets. We gave out an A to the Steelers. So we'll see if any team here in the AFC South can earn that coveted A grade, that A mark, A+. A++. Will anybody ever get an A++? Probably not, but we'll see. So here we go. Let's start here with the Titans here in the AFC South. So the Titans, we know they're kind of focusing heavy on the defense of kind of what we've been seeing in free agency. So their first round pick is Caleb Farley, fantastic cornerback there, shoring up their defense. Then in the second round, they get Dylan Raduns, an offensive tackle, shoring up their game, because this is what we've been saying about this Titans team. They are kind of, not relying on Ryan Tannehill this season. They got rid of one of their big wide receivers. They're focusing up on their line. They're shoring up their defense, and they're letting Derrick Henry and the defense just kind of carry this team and just have Ryan Tannehill be that game manager, not really relying on him too much. So first pick, they go Caleb Farley, corner. Second pick, they get the tackle, shore up the line, and then they get Monty Rice, linebacker, in the third round. Then they get Elijah Molden, another cornerback, in the third round. So really just shoring up their defense with a great defensive talent. And then look at this. I love this, man. Late round wide receivers. If there's no real great wide receivers to go, you always get size, and that's what the Titans did. And I respect this Titans team so much. In the fourth round, they get Dez Fitzpatrick, 6'2" wide receiver, that tall wide receiver that they're missing from Corey Davis that they just traded away. Or was it A.J. Brown? They traded one of those two wide receivers away. Do I have their depth? Do I have their depth chart up? Oh, I do. I'm tripping. Here we go. They got rid of Corey Davis. Yeah, A.J. Brown is still there. So another tall wide receiver here. Fantastic. 6'2". And then they didn't stop there. In the sixth round, they get another wide receiver, and this man's even taller, 6'3". So yes, sir, absolutely a home run here. Then they also kind of get another defensive end in the fourth round, Rashawn Weaver, shoring up their pass rush now that they know they lost Jadeveon Clowney. They don't have him anymore, so shore up the defensive end in the fourth round. And then in the sixth round with their last pick, they get another safety. So just beefing up that defense, fantastic. Really have everything offensively that they want, because they're just going to focus on the running game. That's clear with their second round pick of the offensive tackle. So an absolutely great draft here for the Tennessee Titans, and I'm going to give them I'm going to give them an A-. Those late round wide receivers being 6'2", 6'3", I mean, that's absolutely fantastic, folks. Go out and get the height. I truly think that teams and organization and scouts really kind of underplay height in this league. I am taking that one-on-one matchup. If I have a guaranteed kind of 6'3" wide receiver against a six-foot corner, I'm taking that one-on-one shot, that 50-50 ball every single time. So love what the Titans are doing here. shored up their defense, shored up their line to kind of match what they want to do this year coming up. Heavy on the defense, shut you down. We're just going to run out the clock, run up the ball, run up your throat, score a field goal, touchdown, and then shut it down defensively, and then eat up another 7-8 minutes on the clock, shut it down defensively, eat up another 7-8 minutes on the clock, because we've seen these last 2 seasons, Derrick Henry able to kind of take this heavy workload and still able to get great production. So we give this Titans draft an A-. Fantastic. They picked up 2 huge pieces, Elijah Molden, Caleb Farley, great defensive players, and we'll see if they can get it done this season, year 1. But A- for the Titans. Well done. Alrighty, next up is the Colts. Alrighty. First round, 21st pick, they get Kwity Paye, defensive edge rusher. And they kind of did what the Bills also did. And another team, who was it that took 2 defensive ends, 1 and 2? But they do it here as well, the Colts. Kwity Paye, number 1, defensive edge rusher. Second round pick, Dio Adeyingbo. Defensive end in the second round as well. So shoring up that defensive end. In the 4th round, they get Kylan Granson, tight end. 5th round, they get Sean Davis, safety. 6th round, they get Sam Ehlinger, quarterback. There's no quarterback competition here. We know it's Carson Wentz. Just kind of, always having trusting number 2. They got rid of Jacoby Brissett as well, so they just need that number 2. We're not worried about him there. 7th round pick, they get Mike Strachan, wide receiver. How tall is this man? They already got great wide receivers. Oh my God, 6'5". Oh, now that's what we're talking about. Tall wide receivers, 6'5". Jeez Louise. Oh my goodness. And then Will Fries in the 7th round as well, shoring up their line offensive tackle. So overall, this kind of a Colts team didn't need anything too specifically. I kind of would have liked if they shored up their offensive line a little bit. I'm not sure the strategy of taking 2 defensive ends in the first round. I'm not loving it. But like we said, they didn't really need anything. They've got the pieces at the quarterback position, absolutely, of Carson Wentz. Running back, they are in an abundance of running backs of Jonathan Taylor, Marlon Mack, Nyheim Hines. We love all 3 of them. T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman Jr. really kind of coming alive. So they've got the number 1 and 2 wide receivers. How tall is this Paris Campbell guy? I don't think he got that much burn yet. Just 6 foot. Didn't really do anything last season. So we'll see if he can kind of be the number 3. But they got the number 6'5". They got a 6'5" wide receiver. Let's see if he can kind of come in and emerge. But I've got no problem with T.Y. Hilton and Michael Pittman Jr. You can rely on those 2 wide receivers to get it done. Then you got Jack Doyle at the tight end position. Defensively, you got Xavier Rhodes as a corner, Julian Blackmon over the top with the safety, Darius Leonard, DeForest Buckner, Bobby Okereke, pretty solid as well. So really just kind of wish they may have shored up their line a little bit with maybe the 1st or 2nd round pick, going back-to-back defensive ends, not totally loving it, and then getting another tight end here at number 4, only 6'2". What is that about? Come on. So not the best draft here, but they didn't really need anything big, but I am going to give it a C+. Didn't really love the Colts draft 100% here. Alrighty, let's move on to the next team here, and that's the Houston Texans. And man, oh man, look at this garbage draft, folks. Look at this absolutely garbage draft here. They didn't have the 1st round pick because the Dolphins fleeced them. They didn't have the 2nd round pick because I think, again, the Dolphins fleeced them for that pick as well. So they have 2 3rd round picks. Their first 3rd round pick, their first draft that they did this year. Guess who it is, folks? Davis Mills, quarterback from Stanford. First of all, we looked at him and we didn't like him. We liked their wide receivers even more than the quarterback. But why take Davis Mills when you didn't have the 1st round pick, you didn't have a 2nd round pick? This is your first pick, a quarterback? I know that you're a little iffy if Deshaun Watson's going to play, but you've got Tyrod Taylor as the backup. So why are you wasting a draft pick on Davis Mills, who's probably not going to pan out as a good quarterback in this league, when you have Tyrod Taylor? What is that? You're just wasting a pick here. And then your 2nd pick, you go wide receiver Nico Collins. I get that he's 6'4". That's fantastic. We love that. But once again, you kind of have decent wide receiver depth of Brandon Cooks, Randall Cobb, Kiki Cutie. What are we doing out here? You're wasting picks, and you didn't even have a first or second round, and now we're in the third round, and you're wasting picks. You don't have picks to waste. You barely have any picks here. And then the 5th round pick, you get a tight end. A tight end. What is that? I know, what did Jordan Akins do last season? Anything good? 400 yards, but there's better things to do. You've got decent weapons offensively, and you went and used your first 3 picks in the 3rd and 5th round of a quarterback, a wide receiver, and a tight end. And then to finish out the draft, you get a linebacker at number 5, Garrett Wallow, and then Roy Lopez, a defensive tackle. But, I mean, man, oh, man, could we talk about the offensive line? Could that be good going? I mean, you got David Johnson and Philip Lindsay. Let's shore up that line a little bit more. Your defense, what do we got? Who are your corners? Terrence Mitchell, what did he do last season? 3 forced fumbles, no interceptions, 13 pass defenses. That's not bad. I'll give you the 13 pass defenses. Bradley Roby, he's suspended. No forced fumbles, 1 interception, 7 pass defenses. Nothing great there by that man. Your safeties, Eric Murray. 1 forced fumble, no interceptions, 2 pass defenses, absolutely trash. Justin Reed, what did he got going on? No forced fumbles, 66 tackles, 62 solo tackles, tied 61st, 4 pass defenses, nothing great. So shore up your defense, do something. You got Whitney Merciless, alrighty, that's good. That's it. Malik Collins, pretty solid at the nose tackle position, but just shore up something defensively, and they didn't even do that. So an absolute garbage draft here by the Texans. Obviously, it wasn't all freaking, what's his name? Brian. Isn't his first name Brian? Who was their head coach of the season that got fired? I'm blanking on the name. He's absolutely trash. He's so trash we can't even remember his name. Why is Brian? I don't think it's Brian, but whatever. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Absolutely trash. It's not all him just being a trash organization. They're still trash, and I am giving this draft grade an F, folks. This is an F draft grade. Davis Mills when you got Tyrod Taylor. Nico Collins, wide receiver, and you've already got 3 great wide receivers already. Kiki QT fumbles, so I understand it, but you still got 2 other great ones. What the hell? And then you go tight end. Shore up that defense. Shore up your line a little bit for the running game. Didn't have 2 first-round picks either, and that's how they decided to spend their first 2 picks, quarterback and wide receiver. Absolutely funny. And they had wide receivers all last season as well, so they had their depth of who they wanted to keep and who they wanted to leave, and now they're drafting them. So F grade here. Our first F given out. This is an absolute garbage draft here. Garbage. Alrighty, now let's finish off here the AFC South with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alrighty, well, they had the number 1 overall pick, Trevor Lawrence. That's a home run hitter. That's going to be great. But then a little bit of a surprise pick here. Also in the first round, they had 2 first-round picks. Travis Etienne at number 25, a running back. And we like Travis Etienne. He's going to be great. It's just kind of funny on how it came. The Steelers picking up 24, they go Najee Harris. So I would have been interested to see if Najee Harris and Travis Etienne were both on the board. A, if the Jaguars go get him or maybe try to get him in that second-round pick. Or B, which one do they choose head up, straight up, if they have the option of Najee Harris and Travis Etienne. So a little bit interesting here. I think the Jaguars saw one big running back go off the board and were like, all right, we can't wait, because the Bills may get him. So I respect Urban Meyer for kind of getting the talent when you can. Travis Etienne, so I love that. 2 Clemson back-to-back. Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne knowing each other. Then in the second round, they get Tyson Campbell, great cornerback. And then they go and they go out and trade Minnesota there in the second round to get that offensive tackle. So they got elite talent here, elite quarterback, elite running back, elite cornerback, elite offensive tackle, all with their first 4 picks. And then they go heavy on the defense again for the rest of the draft. 3rd round pick, safety. 4th round pick, defensive tackle. 4th round pick, defensive end. 5th round pick, they go tight end. How tall is this man? 6'6". Oh, I love it. And then they go another wide receiver, 6'2", Jalen Camp in the 6th round as well. So when we look at their kind of roster, they've got the nice wide receivers already. James Robinson was a 1,000-yard rusher, so a little interesting that they went with Travis Etienne. But hey, at the end of the day, let's get some proven talent. And Travis Etienne was definitely proven talent in the college program. So we'll see if he's able to keep it up here in the league. For their offensive line, they did shore that up as well in the second round, so we've got no qualms there. Their defense of Josh Allen at the defensive end, Miles Jack. What do they got as their backfield? Shaquille Griffin, a cornerback. So did we say they also shored up their their corners, right? Yeah, we got one right here, Tyson Campbell. So I think this is an absolutely great draft here. You got the quarterback, the running back, the corner, the offensive tackle with your first 4 picks, and they're all kind of top picks in this league. I mean, first round pick, first round pick number 25, second round pick, first pick, second round pick, 13 pick. So, I mean, it's just great talent here that they were able to secure, and I think it's an absolute great draft. Do we give it I think I give this an A- as well, folks. You got the quarterback, you got the offensive lineman to protect the quarterback, you got the running back to help out the quarterback, and you got the cornerback to help out the defense and shore that up a little bit. So I'm all about this draft, and I think I'm going to give it an A- as well, like we gave the Titans. A great draft here. So to recap, we got the Titans A-, Colts C+, Houston an F, big ol' F, and the Jacksonville Jaguars an A-. Alrighty, that's going to do it for us today. We're back tomorrow where we will finish up the AFC grades with the AFC West. So we'll finish that up, do all our other normal things here. Nothing breaking as we were live, it's looking like, so that's great. So we'll be back tomorrow, folks, doing it all again. We're here every day, noon Eastern, twitch.tv/takesbyfans. The show is Takes by Fans, folks. You can find us anywhere. Alrighty, folks, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow.